listening to the Daily Yogi Podcast. Every weekday, I'll share timeless yogi wisdom in bite-sized relatable lessons you can apply immediately to help you expand your perspective on life. Justinian dreamt of perfect justice. From his palace in Constantinople, the Byzantine emperor gazed across an empire fractured by contradictory laws, corrupt judges, and legal chaos. The year was 529 CE, and he's just ordered the most ambitious project of his reign, codifying all of Roman law into one coherent system. His legal advisors gathered centuries of Roman wisdom. Among the treasures they found were the ancient maxims of the jurist Ulpian. Live honestly, hurt nobody, render to everyone his due. These principles, already 300 years old, would form the moral backbone of Justinian's new code. Simple, beautiful, revolutionary. But even as scribes copied these words onto parchment, Justinian's own officials twisted them. Tax collectors who lived honestly by day extorted merchants by night. Judges who swore to hurt nobody destroyed families through biased rulings. Administrators pledged to render what was due while lining their own pockets. The emperor's frustration mounted. How could something so clear become so corrupted? He issued more laws, created oversight committees, threatened punishment, but the gap between his vision and reality only widened. History remembers Justinian's code as transformative. It shaped Western legal thought for centuries. But the emperor himself died knowing his perfect system had produced imperfect results. The law was clear, but human nature remained stubbornly complex. The yogis understood what Justinian discovered through bitter experience. His tax collectors, judges, and administrators had done exactly what Yogi Ramacharaka would later describe. Every man is inclined to place his own interpretation upon the precepts and consciously or unconsciously stretches them in his own favor. This is the eternal struggle. It is not creating perfect rules. It is navigating imperfect humans, not designing flawless systems but accepting flawed implementation, not the clarity of principle but the messiness of practice. You see this in your own life. Even with crystal clear rules, execution falters. Why? Because between principle and practice lies the vast territory of human psychology. Clear principles, muddy execution. Justinian's code succeeded because it endured despite corruption. Century after century, through every failure and compromise, it offered a North Star, a reminder of what justice could be. This is the paradox of moral systems. Their greatest strength is not in preventing failure, but in giving us something to return to when we fail. The tax collector who extorted today might remember Ulpian's words tomorrow. The corrupt judge might find his conscience next year. The possibility of redemption lives in the gap between principle and practice. Justinian never achieved his perfect empire, but by refusing to abandon his imperfect attempt, he gave Western civilization a gift more valuable than flawless execution. The stubborn belief that we should keep trying anyway. And perhaps that's enough. If this episode gave you something to think about, please leave a quick review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, wherever you're listening. On Apple Podcasts, go to the show homepage, scroll down to the rating sections, then tap Write Review. On Spotify, go to the show homepage, tap the three dots, select Rate Show, and choose your stars. Reviews signal to the algorithm that this podcast is worth promoting and help new listeners discover the show. Thank you. Your support means a lot and goes a long way. And as always, take this reflection into the silence, and I'll see you next time.